Masala guitar! Welcome, welcome, welcome! Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. First of all, big shout out for the guys who bought the Masala guitar t-shirt. Thank you so much, guys, and here are some pictures! Stefan, Geordie and Jim, thank you so much, guys. You look awesome in your t-shirt. Shout out for those guys. Thank you so much. And if you would like to pick up a Masala guitar t-shirt, then I shall leave a link somewhere up here so that you guys can click it and go and check it out and have your own Masala guitar t-shirt. Yeah! Today, a pretty special episode of Masala Guitar, because today's episode, today's lick, was inspired by guitarist Rowan Robertson. Now, we know Rowan from bands like Dio, Bang Tango and Raiding the Rock Vault, yeah, playing in Vegas and stuff. And I also know him from this album, which is called Violet's Demise. This was a band that Rowan did with Oni Logan from Lynch Mob. Yeah, and it is awesome. This is a very, very rare album. You can kind of find it on eBay for a lot of money. But it is an awesome album. It is a really, really excellent album. So this lick was inspired by Rowan's playing on a couple of the songs on this album, and I love the vibe of this album. It's kind of a little bit psychedelic, it's very 70s, it's just super cool. And the guitar tones and stuff and all the drone tones and stuff that he used were just fantastic. And there's an added bonus for you guys today as well, because I spoke with Rowan about this album and just the Indian influence which he so beautifully weaved into some of the songs on this album, and you're going to get to see that a little bit later. Yeah, so stick around for that. Yeah, me and Rowan having a conversation about this album. I mean, this guy's a ridiculously good guitar player. And big shout out for Rowan as well, because Rowan now has a YouTube channel which you guys should check out. So I am going to leave a link in the description box, and in fact I'll link it up here so you can click it and go and subscribe to the channel, because he is teaching some of the stuff from this album and he'll be doing more on YouTube from now on. So definitely go and subscribe to his channel, because he's a super cool guy. He's an incredibly good guitar player and he's a super nice guy as well. Again, yeah, go and subscribe. What are you doing? Well, learn the guitar lick first, the Masala guitar. You know you want the Masala guitar lick for today, isn't it? So today's lick, like I said, it is very, very influenced by like drone tones and stuff, and it's something I've been thinking about showing you guys for a while, and I love the flow of this one. It's quite very specific. The intervals are a little bit different to what you might be used to, but it is very, very Masala. Yeah, it is spicy lick today. So I'm going to show you how to play it, and after I show you how to play it, you'll get to see me and Rowan talking about it. Thank you so much, Rowan. Shout out for Rowan. Let's get going with this. I want to show you. Remember to pick up your t-shirt. You know you want a Masala guitar t-shirt, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe I should do a Masala guitar t-shirt with the word lick on it. Mind boggles at the ideas, doesn't it? Alright. Clean thoughts, clean thoughts, clean thoughts. Let me show you how to play this lick first, and then you can go and see me and Rowan having a conversation about it. Let's get going. Get it ready, man. Get it ready. Let's go. Tones today are courtesy of this lovely little amp modeler and effects unit. It's by Hot Tone. It's called the Ampero. It is very, very cool. Just wanted to give it a quick shout out, because that's what you're hearing today. so cool. Yeah. Alrighty. So like I said, this one was very much inspired by this album. Where is it? Where is it? Let's put it down now. This album called this is actually called Revisited. This one's branded Revisited, but the band is called Rowan Robertson or Violet's Demise. If you can find a copy of the CD, trust me, go and get it because it is awesome. And this was actually inspired by a song called Freedom, where Rowan did some very cool playing, which was very kind of drone based and stuff. So it kind of got me thinking about a lick which I've been playing for a long time. And I've kind of adapted it for the backing track which I've done, and I wanted to show you the concepts behind it, because they're very simple concepts. Now the thing that actually changes how something sounds, a scale sounds, is the intervals, the space between the notes. That's essentially what gives it its character. So this is quite particular, and when I started this lick I was actually using 3 notes which are adjacent to each other, chromatics basically, and I was basically starting off with my root note. I'm actually playing in the key of E minor. I'm half step down, so E flat minor technically. So I was actually starting on the E flat minor note on the B string, and I was actually bending up into it from half step down. But then what I was doing is I was going half step up from there. So from the E note to the F note. But then I'm going back 2 frets. So a whole step. So I'm going to the D sharp here. And then coming back to my root. Now usually we don't play that. But in indie music, that is an interval which is used. Then I coupled that with the open E string for my drone. So my open high E string. So when I'm playing the root note, it's obviously going to sound the same as the open high E string. But when I play the 2 notes aside of it, the F and the D sharp, it's going to sound discordant. It's actually quite an aggressive and heavy sound. So the first thing I did was I actually, like I said, I actually did a bend on the 4th fret of the B string with the open E, and I'm doing a half step bend, so basically trying to get the note the same as the E. And then I'm basically picking between the note on the B string and the note on the E string. Now it doesn't really matter if you get it completely perfectly on, because that discordant sound actually sounds pretty cool. It adds to the whole effect of it. And then what I did was I actually went to the root, and then the half step up, and then back to the D sharp. So that was the first shape that I used when I started playing. Then I used a shape which was directly inspired by the song Freedom. So it went like this. The notes are like this. So I'm starting off on the root note again, the 5th fret of the B string, and then I'm going to the half step up to the F. Then what I'm doing is I'm actually sliding up to the 10th fret of the B string and then to the 9th fret. So when I look at the intervals, there's a half step interval between the first 2 notes, and then I'm actually going up 2 steps, but then I'm coming back half step. So the interval between that 2nd note and that 4th note is actually 1.5 steps. Now depending on the order I play them in, you're going to get different sounds. Now if I just play them straight like that, It's very Middle Eastern sounding. When I reverse the order of the third and fourth note, it's actually more akin to Indian music. It has that vibe, and it's a very, very simple exchanging of positions of notes. That's all I did. I just changed around the order of the notes. So that's essentially what I did for the second part. Again, I used the open E string as the drone. And you can experiment with combinations of that to create some really, really, really cool vibes. After that, what I did was I actually went into a slightly different sequence right at the end because I wanted to kind of ascend. Now that's actually quite minor sounding, it's quite heavy sounding, so I wanted to balance it out with something which was a little bit happier sounding, a little bit more major. So at the end of the last one that I played, what I did was this. So it's a little bit more major sounding there. So what did I do there? Alright, I played the 4 notes as I've just shown you. Then what I'm going to do is come up to the 12th fret of the B string. And then I'm going to come up to the 16th fret of the B string. And then the 17 on the B, which is the root note again. It's just an octave up. So then I did that picking thing again. I'm just doing 2 down picks, 1 up pick, and then single down and up picks, etc. Then what I did was I actually bent the note up from the 16th fret, which is our D flat, D sharp again, and then I did the same thing like I did at the beginning. Which is kind of cool, eh? Nice and masala, man. You know it is. And then I went into this sequence. Just one more thing before I actually go into the next sequence. And I used the drone over that as well. So it's kind of discordant in some places, then it kind of goes back in. It's major sounding sometimes, it's minor sounding other times. Then what I did for the end was I went into a sequence which was like this. I'll play the notes for you on the B string first and then kind of put the drone on. So this time it's more major sounding, it's a little bit happier. So this time I'm starting off on the 4th fret of the B, going to the 5. Then I'm going to the 10 and the 9 on the B string. Then what I'm doing is going to the 12 on the B string. And the 16, 17 on the B. And when I add the drone in, we get that, which is very, very cool. And then after that I just went into some improvisation. And I just did that because I wanted to play through this and I'm just enjoying the tone so much. Sounds great. I'm basically using a Friedman amp simulator on this and it sounds good, man. It's cool, man. So there you go. They're the licks that I played on that track. Now, I know you want to see this conversation that Rowan and I had, so I am going to show you. Check it out. He's such a super cool guy. Remember to go and subscribe to his YouTube channel and check out what he is doing. And leave a comment on one of his videos as well, because He's a super, super cool guy. Here it is, guys. So, folks, I have the amazing, absolutely amazing Rowan Robertson.
No, you're amazing.
Welcome. You're the first.
You're amazing.
Masala guitar, man. Masala guitar.
Hey, Masala guitar. Cool, man. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Really, thanks for having me on, Jay.
No, you're most welcome. And, you know, it's like I was telling the folks when I was actually teaching the track, this album, which is Violet's Demise. Actually, this one's just called Revisited. It's the just branded Logan Robertson. And you did it with Logan, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's only Logan, me, Spencer Campbell, and Scott Coogan. Fantastic.
It's such an amazing album. This is a real rarity now. And, you know, folks, if you can get this, go buy it. I've told you already. You know, go.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Jacob.
Incredible.
Appreciate it.
Now, you inspired kind of this little ditty that I did today on Masala guitar because of the playing on here. This is very different from the stuff you did in bands like Dio and Four and stuff.
Yeah. Well, just to say, Jay, I've heard the track that you're going to share with everyone, and to me, it's just fantastic. It doesn't sound, and I can't hear anything like it. It's really, really amazing. So, and I'm looking forward to it to become a full track. So,
oh yeah, definitely. That's
really wonderful.
You very much influenced it in terms of the playing style and kind of when I was listening to Freedom, there was just that. There was one thing within it which kind of just triggered that whole thing. So, you know, I guess my question to you was, where did that Eastern influence come from? I can kind of hear the Led Zeppelin-esque kind of.
Yeah. I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could say that I did a pilgrimage to the East and studied under some guru or something. But really, it's you know. You remember the George Harrison, and obviously, you know, bringing that influence into rock music.
Right.
It's really, to be completely honest, it's more come from there. Just finding that, looking for that sound, really.
Cool.
But since then, I have a friend who's a very good sitar player, and he has taught me a little bit about Indian music. And obviously, it's something that, I mean, you could study for 40, 50 years and still not, you know, master it. So, but yeah, it's just more from the George Harrison and that sort of thing, really, is where it came from.
That's pretty amazing about the sitar player because Indian music, obviously, kind of the only thing that really defines it from, let's say, a Western scale is just the intervals. It's just those inflections and stuff which kind of make it what it is, and also the fluidity of kind of moving between like major and minor. You know, there isn't that kind of divide. You can use both depending on what you're playing. Did you find that when you actually when you speak to your sitar player friend and stuff, and when you taught you?
Well, what he taught me, if I'm saying it right, which I found very interesting, is each different raga produces a different sort of feeling. So you'll have different ones for the morning and different ones for the evening, and they give you different, you know, feelings and what he said is you might play a scale where you play like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, but you're only allowed to play the 5 on the way back down or something.
Right.
So there's I mean, it's so complicated and so, you know, such, you know, it's I wouldn't even want to, you know, try and say any more than that, really, because I don't know anything about it, but it's so amazing. And yeah,
you and me both. Just don't tell anybody.
All right. Okay, we'll keep it.
You know, I think kind of the wonderful thing about Indian music, I grew up around kind of listening to Bollywood music because my folks were watching Bollywood films and stuff.
Sure.
And that kind of permeated into my playing, just the essence of it. And
yeah,
pretty amazing. When I picked it up, it wasn't necessarily from Indian music as such, because I know the study system is very rigorous, but guys like, you know, George Lynch, Warren DeMartini, you know, listening to this with your playing, that influence was there. You know, those little kind of Eastern vibes were actually included in various songs and stuff. And you know, it kind of circled back, I guess. And is that how you kind of took it? Just the essence of it, and then made it your own thing?
Again, I think it was just looking for that sound, really,
Right.
just looking for that sound at that time, really, like, ooh, you know, how cool would it be to go to India, man? You know, that sort of thing. Really, it was very innocent and there was nothing more than that, really, than just a sort of, you know, imagination sort of thing.
Instinctive thing more than anything else.
Yeah, and knowing the sound. I mean, if you know the guitar neck really well, you know you can play like, ooh, like a flat 5 chord, and it's that kind of gives you that, or maybe using drones and stuff,
Right.
just to give you that sort of flavor, really. But there's nothing beyond just finding that sound, really. Like, as I say, from George Harrison and that tradition of bringing that sound into rock.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're saying you're just a genius, and it just came to your head like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wish. Yeah.
No, you know, the interesting thing for me is that, I mean, one of my favorite Dio albums is the one that you actually wrote and recorded on.
Well, that's really nice. Yeah, that's really nice of you, Jay, because that album, I think, doesn't appeal to everyone, and it appeals to few people, and it's perhaps not the best songs, but yeah, it had some moments, and it was really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the guitar playing on there is, and especially the tone, actually, the guitar tone and the playing, the vibe of it is just, it was one of those moments of perfection, and kind of, it was around 1990, you know,
Yeah.
grunge and stuff coming in, the rock scene was changing, but I think you guys did an absolutely amazing job, and just the contrast between, you know, this was a couple years later, and just the contrast between it is just fascinating for me to listen to. Because,
oh, right, yeah.
you know, this is a very 70s album, and that's a very 80s, obviously inspired album and stuff. But
Yeah. That's a lot down to Oni, to be completely honest with you.
right,
After Dio, I wanted to do some blues type stuff. That was pretty popular at the time, like bands like Black Crowes and all that coming out. So, but he encouraged me to, you know, search further and look for different sounds and that sort of thing. So,
right, and it worked. It worked fantastic.
Yeah, it's trippy, interesting record. Yeah,
It is, yeah, and I think that's the main thing about it is that how interesting the songs are, and the music, just the combination of how you created it. You know, it could be straight out of the 70s, you know, and
and
perfect. Yeah.
What we were very lucky that we were at a time where we had rehearsal rooms, and we had, you know, money to live on and studios. So we just spent basically a couple of years just doing that every day, you know, and just going to rehearsal. And so it was a great opportunity.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, we're very lucky to have that.
Captured that moment in time.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Now you have a YouTube channel now, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah. It's Rowan Robertson Official, and I've only uploaded a couple of videos as yet, playing videos, but I intend to keep it going and build it up. Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, I've plugged it to the folks, and I'm going to leave a link.
I appreciate it, Jay.
So, guys, seriously, go and subscribe to this guy's channel, because he's amazing. You know, he's amazing.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And
this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
You know that.
I try a lot. And you also play Reading the Rock now, right? In Vegas.
Yeah. It's 5 nights a week in the Hard Rock in Vegas. We play Saturday to Wednesday, and I'm just so lucky to be playing with the great players Howard Leese, Doug Aldrich, Lars Elias, Robin McCauley, Michael T. Ross, Paul Shortino. Am I forgetting anyone? It's just great. To do that 5 nights a week is just like, that's not a job. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, that's the beautiful thing about music, right? It doesn't feel like you're going to work. You're basically kind of just living your passion, right? And your purpose. So,
yeah, it's great. And just to come into the house and just sit on the couch and noodle on the guitar, how fun is that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of, you know, I don't get to do that with the wife sitting next to me, but when she's not around, rest of the time I'm in the toilet.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Which is fine.
That's right. Yes, dear.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for your,
Jay, thanks.
seriously, this has been absolutely amazing.
Oh man, thank you so much for your passion and for your, you know, excellence, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your inspiration. Really appreciate
All right.
it. Thank you for being the first guest on Masala Guitar.
Oh, thank you, man. Privilege.
That was so super cool speaking with Rowan. He is such a super nice guy and amazing guitar player. Like I said, go and subscribe to his YouTube channel and leave a comment on one of his videos as well and show some love, etc, etc. Give it a thumbs up, etc. There you go, guys. There's the lick. Just awesome. So wonderfully inspired by this album and Rowan's playing on this album. Enjoy playing it, guys, and if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification so you know when the new videos come out, because there's some super cool stuff coming up throughout this year. Yeah, and you know you want to see it. Trust me, you want to see it. Also, give the video a thumbs up. It is much appreciated. Share it with your friends as well. Let's make a Masala guitar revolution, man. Yeah, let's make a spicy revolution. And remember to pick up your Masala guitar t-shirt at my Redbubble store. Have a fantastic day, guys, and I shall see you again for the next Masala guitar and the other videos as well. Yeah. In the meantime, here's the playthrough again. Huge thank you again to Rowan. Such a super cool guy. Keep it Masala, keep it spicy, man. Masala guitar licks. You know you love them. You know you love them. Yeah. See you soon, guys.